Hello and welcome to Drunk on Tea. Today I'm taking a look at this set of Battle Systems cardboard terrain and seeing if this will be a great set to pick up for tabletop gaming. I've picked up this set, the Fantasy Village set, and I'm going to test it out with some games of Middle-earth strategy battle game. But in theory this set would be great for Age of Sigmar, Warhammer Fantasy, but also it can work in some more contemporary games. But Battle Systems also sell terrain for sci-fi games, which would work great for games of Warhammer 40,000 or Kill Team. Have you ever used cardboard terrain? Let me know in the comments down below how you found it. This set comes with a lot of cardboard terrain, from large buildings, a well which would make a great central objective, and includes a load of fences, barrels and other scatter terrain, as well as chairs, tables and bookcases for the insides of the buildings. The terrain comes on these sheets with everything punching out from these, and it all fits together by either slotting together or the buildings use plastic clips to hold the walls and floors in place. I'm going to build the thatch cottage first, which comes on a couple of sheets which contain all the parts for the building as well as some scatter terrain. The walls pop out easily, just a bit of pressure and they come straight out, nice and clean, without any tearing of the board, which is always good, as some cheap cardboard terrain could end up ripping. As well as the walls, I'm also popping out the gables for the roof, so I can build all of the external parts in one go. Doors and windows have small cuts in them and connected on one side, so they can be opened out and give a nice effect and interesting look to the buildings on your table. These clips are what hold the walls together. This set comes with loads of different types. These L-shaped ones, some straight ones and some cross ones. They clip over the cardboard and hold the exterior parts together. They grip really well and hold the parts together, so it's easy to clip all the four parts of the outside wall of this cottage. Using a straight clip, the arches for the roof clip on easily as well. I can imagine some people wouldn't like the look of these clips, as they are visible on the outside of the building once it's finished, but I found that they do blend in quite well and aren't a major issue. This kit comes with a stove and chimney which attach to the building. These parts come with pre-scored lines, so they can be easily folded to get the right angles to all of the parts. The chimney has a lot of these scored lines, so you can fold the chimney all the way around. The way these parts go together is quite clever. All the folds work to create the base for the chimney, and then the sloped part is just held together using the tension and friction of the cardboard to hold it in place. The stove and chimney then easily clip onto the building with the chimney on the outside. There are slits on the building which line up to the chimney and allow it to easily slot in, and then it's kept in place and it's really sturdy when it's all together. The roof is also really simple to put together. There are scores on the side parts which give the curve to the roof really easily. Just don't overbend them or it will never fit right. The side parts then fit into these clips which hold the roof together. It's a tight fit, but this gives a nice strong roof for the building. The roof then simply sits on top of the building, which makes it really easy to take off if ever you move models inside. The end result is a nice looking building that's quite simple to put together and should look good in games on the tabletop. On the sheet comes some scatter terrain that's also really easy to put together. The chair simply pops out and then the three bits slot together to give a nice looking bit of scatter terrain for your games. The bookcase is much the same as the chair. Pop out the parts, and then they fit together easily and make a simple looking bookcase. If you're enjoying the video, please press like. If you want more videos, press the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. If you would like to support the channel and become a member, please press the join button down below. To set up the buildings on your tabletop is really quick and easy. Once the parts are built, just stack them on top of each other and the roof goes on at the end. Some of the buildings are just a single level, others have another floor, and this creates some interest on the tabletop with buildings of different sizes. And then there is the centerpiece of this kit, the tavern. This large building is really impressive when it's all together and ready to be used in your games. The terrain holds up pretty well during a game, although building the whole box took a long time. Now all of the bits are assembled, setup is fairly quick. The scenery looks good on the table and is very interactive during games and adds some height. After being used for several games, nothing was damaged, which is always a risk with cardboard terrain. Unfortunately, the scenery is quite light, so fences can be knocked over really easily, and even the buildings can get knocked around the table by accident, a little bit too easily for my liking. If you're careful when playing this, it won't be a problem, but we've all knocked terrain during games, and unlike plastic terrain, these parts will move really easily. Unfortunately, as the terrain is just cardboard, there isn't any real texture to it. The artwork on the card is great and does a good job of giving the impression of texture, but if you mix these alongside some plastic terrain, it makes it really obvious just how flat the cardboard terrain is. My biggest issue with the terrain in this box is the lack of instructions. All of the paper inside this box, and they didn't include any instructions for how to build the scenery. Some of the buildings are quite complex and you would struggle to work out how they're supposed to fit together on your own. There are video tutorials on the Battle Systems website, which are also on YouTube. These are okay. The instructions aren't too clear, and they often speed up through the build, meaning some intricate parts are almost skipped, so they're really hard to follow along with. And also, if you're like me, and you enjoy watching a film or a podcast or something while building kits, the video format can be a problem. I just want to look at a bit of paper telling me how things are supposed to go together, but having to listen to a video means I can't just zone out and build. Stopping a video every few seconds to copy the steps is a pain and makes an already long process even longer. However, if you can put up with the awkward build and annoying instruction method, these kits are a great way to get a lot of terrain at a much lower price than plastic. The selection of kits is really broad and will cover whatever kind of game you want to play. Also, because it's cardboard, it's light, so it's easy to carry to someone's house or the games club to use. It can also be taken apart to easily store. Although if you do this, you will need to rebuild all of the buildings again next time you want to use them. I enjoy playing games with the kit, and I'll use it again in some more games. There are some other scenery kits that I like the look of, and they could be interesting, but I don't know yet if I'll pick them up. I like the more sturdy feel of plastic terrain, so time will tell if I decide to add more to my collection. But this village set will get used, so maybe in the future I'll do a follow-up to this video in a couple of years and see how it's still holding up. So that's my initial thoughts on the Battle Systems cardboard terrain. Let me know in the comments down below if you've used these kits, or if you're thinking about picking some up. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and happy gaming!